Welcome back. In this segment, well, first of all, notice Sunshine. She's got her little bathing suit on and her little Hawaii lei. So I promised you a new outfit. In this segment, we're going to talk about the various types of sellers that are out there in the market and their motivations. They're not all what you think. The first one is an equity positioned seller. Now, what that means is the person still has equity in the home. So they owe more. Let's say the home is worth $300,000 and they owe $150,000. This person has some equity to play with. This is your traditional seller generally, and they have the standard motivations. There's been a job change, an illness, perhaps a divorce. Maybe they just are divesting of their real estate or downsizing. So this is the equity positioned seller, is the one that you're more familiar with and we've dealt with in any market. They may or they may not be soft on their price. If in a resort area like this, they don't necessarily have to be soft on the price if they have strong rentals, because they're booked solid and it's covering their payments if there is a payment. Sometimes there's not even a payment and it's paid off completely. So that seller's a little harder to tell their motivation. There still are some things to look at, but they don't have to sell in most cases, but they want to. What we're seeing an abundance of in this market is what we call the upside down seller. This seller is the person that purchased, say, anywhere from 2005 to, in our market now, from 2005 to 2008. And these people paid more than the property is worth today. And they traditionally have mortgages that are worth more than the property is worth today. And this creates a logistical problem in negotiating these, because somebody's going to have to pony up some dough because the mortgage is much larger than what they can get on the home. So who's going to pony it up? Well, there's basically two options here. One is the seller themselves are going to come up with some money out of their pocket, and they're going to make up the difference between what the mortgage is and what the market price is or what your offer is. It happens, believe it or not, it really does happen. People want out of this, and 2 months ago, we closed one where the seller actually had to come up with $1.4 million out of his own pocket. So it happens, and all that can be determined again by a little bit of checking to see what their financial position is. The second upside down seller is the desperate short sale seller. And you've heard all the buzzwords about short sales. Basically, a short sale is, we're going to get into that a little bit more, exactly what it is, but the person that's motivated here is the seller. They owe $600,000 and their condo is now worth $300,000. They're behind in their payments. Yes, they're motivated. It's the bank that doesn't want to take the $300,000 loss, because that's what the short sale seller is asking them to do, is take a loss on the mortgage. Then we're going to see pre-foreclosure sometimes. Pre-foreclosure means that the seller is behind in their mortgage payments. They may or may not be in a short sale position, again, based on whether they can come up with the money for the difference or whether they are going to have been approved by the bank to do a short sale. But basically, they are behind in their payments, and that's what I would consider a pre-foreclosure situation. Then you've got a bank-owned property. And I think there were 26 of them. They were in the 20s today, in the last 2 weeks. Something like 26 of them, 28 of them in the Destin 30A area, and that were new. Now, this is a completely different thing, because now the bank has become motivated. They aren't necessarily motivated in the short sale situation, but the bank now owns this property. It's sitting there. Nobody's maintaining it. There's often homeowners association fees as well as maintenance costs that have to be associated with the property, and the bank is stuck paying them. And they want this loss off their books. They also want the insurance money from the federally insured loans. So they want to move this property, and I find that they're generally priced significantly lower, and they also will go down quite a bit. One thing that can be done is you can go into the MLS and you can actually look, now that we're getting some more of them on our in our history, we can go in and we can actually say, okay, Bank of America, and look at all the sales that Bank of America has done and see what their average that they've taken off on a property is versus what they listed it for. There's a lot of variations in this. It's going to depend on what their listing agent has told them they should market it at. They're going to get a BPO or a broker's professional opinion of what the property's worth. So there's variations in what it's listed at, and also there's going to be a lot of things that we have to look at when associated with buying a foreclosure as well.